How's it going?
Good. Just step out really quick. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
So what's going on, Chef? I know you had a busy morning. How did that go?
A little bit. It was good. We started around 7 this morning. It was our first day, so we're trying to figure out kind of what we're doing. It took a little longer than we anticipated. I can't remember the last time I had to roll 1,000 tacos. But it went well. It was good. And, it was just excited to see everybody again because I was able to hire on 4 of my staff members. So that was cool.
And so who were you feeding again this morning, and how did it get put together and everything?
We got a donation from someone to feed lunches to 500 people at Parkland.
Oh, great. So this was just the general public that you were feeding today?
No, it was the ER, mostly the ER nurses and staff.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. For those that haven't followed you like I am, can you kind of introduce yourself, kind of tell them about your milestones that's brought you to where you are today as executive chef? Just real quick.
Yeah, I'm originally born and raised in Dallas. I went to school in New York at the CIA and then moved to San Francisco where I worked for about 4 years. And then, I missed being home, wanted to come back and represent Dallas. So I came back to Dallas and been here ever since. But yeah, Dallas is my home. Like I said, born and raised here. My family all lives here. So it was time to come back.
That's great. How did you get into cooking? What's your...
My mother was kind of like a live-in chef / nanny growing up. So, I don't know. It was just something that I grew up watching and seeing my whole life. And she was like, no, if you're going to do this, you need to learn from the best. I don't want you kind of half-assing it. But she tried to steer me away. She was like, do something else. Do whatever you can. Just don't be a cook. Don't be a chef. And, I tried a lot of things. This was what I was good at.
Yeah, I could share the experience because I actually never went to culinary school although that was my first choice. And my parents were like, no, go get a college degree in something else. Go get your backup plan.
Same.
And because my dad and his family, that's all they did growing up. They had several restaurants in Mexico. During the summer, I went from busboy to, doing just about everything in the restaurant, taking orders, cooking and all that. And now just the way life steered me, Foodie Monsters kind of brought me back full circle. You probably don't know, but what I try to do and what I'm working on is being a food journalist. And I like connecting people with their community, with restaurants and restaurant workers, whether they be chefs, waiters, what have you, just supporting everybody. Everybody's kind of like my team, I'm not into sports. I don't root for the Cowboys. I couldn't tell you all the stats and whatnot because I don't have that mind. But when it comes to food, I'm just like a kid on Christmas Day. My eyes get real big, whether it be learning about history, preparation, culture. And I'm guessing that's kind of what you get out of it too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just rewarding. It's the one thing that brings everybody together all the time. It's comforting, it's rewarding, and it's always a certain. Everyone has to eat.
Definitely. Now, I'm not trying to star the waterworks and get anybody too emotional or crying, but tell us what it's like. I can't imagine. This is kind of in my mind like 9/11. The world's fine, everything's normal, and then one day everybody's grouped around the television set saying that there's been something major happening. Can you kind of tell us how it's been
I think, it started with the cancellation of the James Beard House. We were scheduled to leave for New York on Tuesday. Or on Wednesday, sorry. On a Tuesday, we got a phone call from the owner saying, we need to cancel the trip. The smart thing to do was just not risk anything. And it lasted for about 4 hours. My hurt and kind of pain and crying and whatever, dramatic, like, running to the bathroom kind of thing, calling my mom. And then the next day, kind of things started falling into place, like seeing the news conferences and seeing the numbers. It was like, oh crap, there's something bigger than me. This is something way bigger than, what's happened to just me. This is happening to the world. And I think we just kind of took action and put everything into place. We got a plan together, and we had a meeting and said, if something happens, what are we going to do? And we had no idea what it is that we're doing right now. I don't think anybody was prepared for that. On Monday, we brought our entire crew in for the staff meeting, and the owners were here. And this was like just the managers had their meeting for about 2 hours, and we were all crying and like trying to like console each other. When the staff came in, I think they knew that there was something serious that was about to happen. We announced that we would be closing until we could figure something else out. But we were very fortunate that one of our owners works for ShiftSmart, and they were able to have at least 30 to 40 shifts available at the North Texas Food Bank. So we were able to immediately place the majority of our staff at the food bank. Shortly after that, the next day, we opened for takeout. We had 24 hours to figure this out. We were going from a fine dining restaurant to now serving to-go food. We didn't have the containers. We didn't have the system down. There was supposed to be a spiel when you answer the phone. Now it's like a science. It's like clockwork. We know exactly what we're doing. We went from doing maybe 30 to-go orders that first night to 99 on Saturday.
Wow. So, I mean,
and it's smooth and efficient. I mean, we just had to figure it out.
Right. That's really something to just think on your feet and,
yeah.
I mean, be professionals about it, because, it's enough to be worrying about, okay, what's going to happen with my family? What's going to happen with my own health? You're not, you got the finance side, you got the health side.
Yeah.
And it's just unreal. But I've been following you, and I've seen that you've really come together. I mean, I'm sure everybody that watches this and is with us now has seen that you're doing your best to take care of your staff.
Yeah, I mean, they're an extension of my own family. I spend more time with them than I do with, some of my own family members. And so it was just really important that they were taken care of. Even if it's not financially, a text message, how are you today? And there, we're fighting for you guys to come back. I mean, essentially, we're here and trying to stay open so that they have a restaurant to come back to. And so for the first week, it was just me and my salary, my two chefs. And, it was not pretty. We definitely got our apps. But we were able to supply them with another week of salary rather than just the last week that they worked. So, and we were able to make family meals for everybody so that they had at least one meal a day that they could come here, take it to go, bring in containers, make sandwiches, whatever it was that we could do to help them, even if it was just a meal. That's always our go-to when something like this happens. How can we do? What can we bring you? And that helped. That definitely brings smile to everybody's faces.
Definitely. I mean, and hearing, the different steps. First there was you guys were closing down dining rooms, and then switching over to go, and then all of a sudden it went to stay home, and I'm like, well, what is that going to mean? Yeah. But then they said, oh, but they're essential, and I was like, oh, my heart went to my throat, back into my chest. I'm like, okay, so we got that. But I'm imagining it, and like I'm reading in a lot of articles, it's still not the same. I mean, there's a lot of you that are doing okay, but
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that, how different it is.
I mean, when I would come in sometimes, if I wasn't opening, I would come into a bustling restaurant for lunchtime where, we would have anywhere from 40 to 60 people sitting down eating lunch. It's crickets now. We get 1 or 2 lunch orders. Maybe dinner's really where it's at for us. We're definitely busier at dinner. It's just not the same. My delivery guys only deliver 7 days a week now, so I have to plan ahead of schedule. Where I was ordering every day before, now I have to order 2 or 3 days out in advance, which is kind of difficult because we don't have the storage space and we don't have, the need for 4 cases of tomatoes as opposed to 1. There's things like that. But it's all about adapting. What's going to make us successful is how well we can adapt to this much change. And it's changing. It's literally hour by hour, day by day. You just never know what's around the corner every single day.
Right. And, the time frame too, because, we went from not really knowing when this was going to end or what the future held to now it's kind of like, well, the 1st of April will be more back to normal. Now we're hearing, now it's
end of
minimum
April.
June or something like that,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm guessing that if anybody was to ask you, okay, how long are you guys going to be good for? You really couldn't say that right now. It's kind of a week by week thing, or
I think we're taking it a day at a time. We don't have any intentions on slowing down unless we absolutely have to. We want to be here for our community. That they've completely and utterly supported us so much. As long as there's a need, we'll be here. And until we can't do it anymore, I think, everybody really wants to work and everyone's working really hard to make sure that we can supply our community. And I think until it's time to go, we'll be here.
Right. I mean, with these interviews, and you can correct me, you being a professional in the field, what's most important is and everybody may roll their eyes at it, me repeating it, but keeping the social distancing, washing the hands, staying home when you can, but life still goes on. And, if we can support each other, I try to still eat out as much, if not more. I'm tipping probably double what I normally tip because I understand what it's taking you guys to keep going. And if we can all just keep that mantra going day by day. So I think there's some that are like over paranoid and crazy about it. So they're kind of stuck at home and they're not going to go do their pickup and take out. They're not going to really live their lives. There's some that are blowing it off. So they're not being safe with washing their hands and so forth. And then there's people that are kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And
I think our clientele, we're doing the most we can to be as safe as possible. We're not letting anyone in or out of the building that hasn't already been here. We're making sure. I had 2 older parents who were sick, so I don't visit them. I don't even they used to watch my daughter, but I don't let my daughter go there anymore until we are we're out of the woods. So if I can't visit my family, I don't want anyone coming in or out of the building. But I don't know where they've been. So they pretty much had to vow that they're not going anywhere that they're not allowed to be. The other day when my girls was like, I'm going to go get a Red Bull at 7-Eleven. I was like, no, you're not.
Right.
I said, but get some anyway. I'm a little more paranoid now than I was last week, just because of the numbers that I see and stuff. So if I can't my parents, it's because there's a risk out there, and we want to be as safe as possible. Again, we're not letting guests get out of their cars. We're there's no contact at all. All of our staff is wearing gloves, masks. So we're doing the best we can under the circumstances. But we want to always make sure our guests are being safe as possible.
And that's wonderful. So remind folks, if they want to enjoy your food, what's the best way to place the orders, your hours and stuff?
So currently we are only closed on Sundays. That's because I want to spend time with my family too, and I need a day off too. So, but otherwise we're open. We're not open lunches anymore because we are taking on full-time lunches at Parkland. So we're serving 500 employees at Parkland Daily. But we are open for delivery and takeout, outside takeout, from 3 to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. We also do breakfast tacos on Saturday morning. You can call ahead or check out our website at joseonlovers.mx.
Great. So I hope everybody that's with us now will give them a follow. We'll keep them in your mind, because again, it's not just Chef here in front of us, but it's the families and staff that she's supporting.
Yeah.
And you know, it may not be your brother and sister or parent or whoever that you're helping out, but it's someone's. And so I really appreciate you taking the time. I could definitely talk your ear off all day, but I know you have things to do. I'm gonna cut this, short right now, because I think we've gotten a really good message, a good check-in with you. I hope you keep as active as you are on Instagram. If people aren't following, you definitely need to follow her. She's very authentic. I love seeing the posts from your kids. She's on TikTok, guys. The next TikTok's right here. But again, I'll be saving this and sharing this, and you stick in there, keep your head up, and I'll definitely be by as often as I can. The thing that kills me is I live in Hearst, and so to eat most of the great food around here, I have to travel at least 20-something minutes. And I'm out of everybody's DoorDash and Uber Eats zone.
Yeah. Well, give us a call. We'll have it ready for you when you get here.
I definitely will. So I look forward to seeing you and speaking to you another time, and definitely eating your great food by takeout, and dine in once this is all over with.
Once it's all over, we'll be back stronger than ever.
I'm sure you will. Thank you so much. Everybody's joined us. Chef, thank you for participating. And
thank you.
Best wishes. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Enjoy your week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.